Hello, my name is Megan Thornton, and I'm going to talk about the APERS assessment observation that I did of the special ed classroom that I observed last week. So I'll just really briefly go over the assessment tool and how I scored it. In terms of learning environments, item number 1, the classroom setting allows team members to monitor students from all vantage points. The classroom I observed did okay with that. They got the middle one. So the enclosed area for small group instruction is challenging to see into or out of unless you're standing up and really making an effort to look in or out. So that was in the middle for that. In terms of cubbies, personal space, the classroom did not score very well with that. They don't have any cubbies, and they had coat hooks and shelves, but there were no labels. So they could definitely improve in that area. In terms of item number 3, physical structures or boundaries, they did great. They have a specific room for a quiet, calming area. They have a rewards room where students can go work on iPads or or do something else to kind of relax and disengage for a while. They have a small group instruction, that cordoned off area that I already mentioned, and they have a toy area with lots of Legos and building things, and then they have an open area where they have tables and desks for small group work. In terms of the learning environment structure and schedule, item number 4, the schedules and written instructions, they did pretty well. There were written instructions on the whiteboards for every day and for every student and for every paraprofessional, which I think was helpful, but there were no pictures on it. And in terms of carrying schedules with them, they do have portable schedules that were kind of like a clipboard attached to a little letter-sized box, and in the box would be the students' rewards tracking system, like a laminated piece of paper with Velcro on it, and then also the little pieces to Velcro on, like say the student I observed loves trains, so there's a Thomas, or the different line of Thomas the Train trains, and he can get, he gets one of each when he meets certain goals, like staying on task or speaking appropriately. So they have their little reward system tracker in there, which is really helpful, and that is carried around by the paraprofessional generally, not the student. And in terms of preparing for transitions, they do a great job. The students know what's coming up. They have the schedule posted. There's lots of timer use with the analog timers where students can see it kind of getting closer and closer to the end. And so the paraprofessionals or the teacher will say, we're going to work on this for 10 minutes. Here's the timer. Let's get going. And then the students can see how far they have to go, and then it's really clear when it ends. And there's also a very small student to adult ratio. There's lots of paraprofessionals, and most students work in a maximum size group of maybe 3 or 4. In terms of positive learning climate, the classroom I observed did great. I really liked what I saw in terms of how the staff interacted with the students. The team members really were warm, positive, respectful, and engaging with the students, which was great to see. They definitely did a great job acknowledging students' efforts with things like high fives and, great job, but then also they have a more structured system with a classroom store where the students can earn, fake money, and they put it in a wallet, manila envelope on the wall. Each student has their own, and then they can spend it in the classroom store where the teacher buys dollar store gifts that they can use their money to buy for a reward system. And in terms of team members being aware of student engagement, there was lots of support, mostly from the paraprofessionals, but also from the teacher. And I felt like the team members were aware of what was going on with students and were on top of it and able to react when something needed to change. And I also noticed that all the adults were really actively working. It's not like they were sitting in groups chit-chatting with each other, as sometimes adults can do when we're around each other, but they were really actively engaged with the students. So that's kind of the overview of what I observed. I enjoyed the observation because I feel like the classroom or the team members do a great job trying to make it a positive learning environment for the students. Some aspects of the classroom that appealed to me were the teacher has put kind of sheer light-colored fabric over the light panels in the ceiling, which makes a softer kind of glow in the whole room, as well as not those specific pieces of harsh light coming out. So that's a really nice change she made to the structure of the room. I really like the quiet, safe place, that it's clearly marked, and it's a room filled with pillows, blankets, bean bags, and it really feels like a safe space when a student needs to step away. The rewards room was also clearly marked, and the students all enjoy going there, of course. And I liked that the staff and student schedules were clearly posted. I think that's helpful for the students to know where they're supposed to be and also who's going to be there with them. Some aspects that didn't appeal to me were kind of the, it's a school that was built a long time ago, and so it has kind of an industrial feel in the whole classroom does. The carpets are old and they're dark, but when you look at them, they're stained, and the room doesn't feel very, very fresh and bright. And then I also wondered if the blockades around, the blockades are, like cabinets around the small group area could be lowered so that it would still be clear that that was a separate area for working, but maybe it would be easier for staff to see in and out. I thought those things might make the room a little better for student learning. My overall impression of the classroom learning environment was I think the teacher has done a really good job doing what she can with the space that she has and the money that she's allotted. So I was impressed with that. I do think the cubby situation could be improved. I had not thought about it until I did this APERS assessment, but I do think that each student could use a more structured and larger space to keep their belongings. So anyway, overall, I found this useful, and it really gave me some ideas of different things to look at when it's time to create my own classroom. All right, thank you.